Hello, welcome to my first live video. Look, I just wanted to touch base with a few people out there and tell them about where I started with property education and what made me take those first few steps to changing my life and doing something that I always felt that I was really interested in, which was property development. First off, I think of myself way back then, like 9 years ago, working in a job. I like what I did because I was good at it. I was a cameraman and I was filming and I was organising crews. The only problem was that I felt that even though I could make the money, I was really scared about investing, and I didn't want to lose that money that I worked so hard making. I think it's very hard sometimes for entrepreneurs when they realize that they put so much effort and time and energy into making their wage or their money that you're almost really careful about how you're spending it. So when I first looked into property education, because it was something that I was passionate about, and I saw a good friend of mine, Atil, doing really well in it, and thought, hey, I'd really love to do that, but so scared, because you hear both sides of the stories. You hear people losing money and you hear people making money, but more often the media is going to show you people losing money. So I had investigated a lot and looked at a lot of different people that I wanted to maybe study with or learn from. I'd read those magazines. I'd asked a lot of people about it. I'd heard people lose money, make money. So I heard all these arguments. And then I thought, look, what I really want to know is someone that's had a bit of success, but also someone that connects with people from an emotional point of level. So someone that could actually adapt to my emotions too, and the kind of fear I had when I first got into doing education for property. The one thing that I know now was that if I wouldn't have taken that first step into doing education, into going to that first 1.5 hour seminar or going into the next steps from there or doing further education, then I wouldn't be where I am today. So I know a lot of people out there and a lot of friends of mine look at me now and go, wow, I'd love to do what you're doing, or I can see that obviously you're happy and you're successful and your lifestyle's pretty good. And they always say to me, what's changed? What did you do? A lot of people actually, and this is true, think that because I had a really big company before and I was working in a different industry in television, that I was making lots of money, and so obviously property was just the next step from there, and I just had lots of money and put it into property and it was nice and easy. But I can tell you, business life, running a business and putting so much energy into it, I felt that reward from that passion of running a business, but at the same time, I wasn't really getting the financial income from it because so much of that money goes back into the business, especially a technology type business where you need a lot of hardware. So I did have to find another way to use my money smarter, and property investing seemed to be that way of doing it. I know that if I wouldn't have taken the first step in myself, the first action to say, hey, I need to do something for myself now instead of everyone else, then I wouldn't have gone to that first 1.5 hour intro conference that kind of made me think about, okay, hang on a second, is there a better way for me to be investing my money and my time, and should I go and re-educate myself? I mean, that means stop partying. That means, going and dressing up and going into a hotel room and sitting down there and listening to someone, and that whole one side of your head's going, oh, don't let them rip me off, and the other side of your head's going, but I really want to change. So all I can say to people out there that are kind of on the verge of thinking, hey, maybe I'd like that lifestyle, or what was the first thing that makes you change your steps and your actions towards your future, it is simply going in and looking at what you're interested in, which people out there are doing things that you might be interested in as well, and which people have had some success in that, and following them and going to those conferences and those intro nights, and and going to a few of them, not just one of them, going and seeing different people and seeing who you gel with and seeing who you think has kind of touched something in you. So you go in there and you go, hang on, I'm going to be open-minded. That's the number one rule, open-minded first. And secondly, go in there and just look for people that resonate with what you want to do. Because if you go into somewhere and you think, look, this person, I don't feel the energy from them, or I'm not feeling like that's the right direction I want to go in, then just keep trying a few other people, and eventually you'll find someone that you gel with, which is what happened with me. I'm a very accounts type person. I like the numbers to be right. I like someone who has done a lot of research. So for me, Dipna Boholt was the perfect pick when I first started out. And continually she's been my mentor now for 9 years. And so don't ever give up going and looking at conferences. Don't ignore what your friends say. I know it seems like, oh, you're a seminar junkie, or, you know, what are you doing to get listening to some person that's going to rip you off. Forget all that out of your mind and just focus on what you want in life. You're the only one that can make the decision. You're the only one that can take action, but you are also the only one that can stop yourself from going forward. You're probably 90% of the reason that you're not successful, or you might not be where you're not going to, where you want to be. I'm not saying everyone's not successful out there. Everyone has their own levels of success, but are you really happy with the level of success that where you are at now? And I think that's the main thing that you need to consider. And if you think there's more of you, that you think you've got more energy, more time, that you actually could be more value, then keep going to those conferences with an open mind. So I see Vanessa here put out a little message to me. I'm driving at the moment, so I'm probably not going to read it right now. Lynn, Josh, wow, there's a lot of people out there. I see a lot of people coming in live now. So thanks for tuning in. That's what I just wanted to keep everyone reminding. If you haven't gone to a seminar or a conference in a while, this is your reason now to go back and remember what your dreams were, and just remember that you're the only one that inhibits your success sometimes. So thanks very much. See you later. I'm off to one of my sites. Double check that the plans got delivered to the right place. Bye.